Alright, so today we are going to clear the concept of ANP or atrial natriuretic peptide. Now listen, when you are talking about atrial natriuretic peptide, the first thing you need to understand is this: we are talking of heart as an endocrine organ. Endocrine organ. Okay. Now listen with all your attention. So we are actually essentially talking about heart as an endocrine organ. Okay. Now listen. What do you mean by heart as an endocrine organ? Now listen with all your attention. Heart actually has pumping action, everybody knows, but heart also helps in lowering blood pressure itself by releasing a hormone called atrial natriuretic peptide. Okay. Atrial natriuretic peptide. Atrial natriuretic peptide. Clear? So heart releases this hormone, which is also known by the name of ANP, the short form. That's it. Clear? Now, from where, what is the site or from where ANP is secreted, right? It is secreted from atria. Site of secretion, okay, of ANP is atria. It is atria. Clear? Now listen, this ANP has a vasodilatory effect. Okay, vasodilatory effect. Now, a very important point here we need to understand is this, that whenever we are talking about vasodilatory effect, the first thing we need to understand is that it will actually increase the diameter. Suppose this is the diameter of a blood vessel, okay, and after the release of ANP, it will actually release the, or increase the diameter of blood vessel. Clear? This is the first thing we need to understand. Okay, so this is before the release of ANP, okay, and this is after the release of ANP. Okay, clear? So it has got a vasodilatory effect. Clear? Vaso means blood vessel. Okay. Now, a very important point here we need to understand here is this, that there are actually two types of atrial natriuretic peptides. Okay. There are two types of atrial natriuretic peptides. Okay. That is A type and B type. Okay. Now, A type has 28 amino acids. B type has 29 amino acids. Now, B type was actually found first in brain. That's why it is called B type, or brain natriuretic peptide. Clear? But it is actually secreted from heart as well. Okay. Now, when I say that there are 28 amino acids and there are 29 amino acids, what should strike your mind first? That is that both ANP and B type ANP both are peptide hormones. Both are peptide hormones. You must understand this very basic thing. Both are peptide hormones. Clear? Both are peptide hormones. Okay. Now, why this peculiar name has been given to this type of hormone, that is atrial natriuretic? You know what do you mean by natriuretic? Why it is called natriuretic? You know this? Now listen, natri actually comes from the word natrium. Natrium means sodium. Clear? And uretic means any agent which helps in urination. Any agent which helps in urination. Clear? Any agent which helps in urination is called uretic. That is diuretic. Suppose coffee. Clear? tea, these are all diuretics. Okay. Now, why it is called natriuretic then? Natriuretic because it is actually excreting sodium from your body, therefore lowering the blood pressure. Clear? It reduces the blood pressure obviously by vasodilatory effect, but how? By taking out the sodium from your body. Okay. Now, a very important point you need to understand here is this, that what is the molecular mechanism of this atrial natriuretic peptide. Okay. Now, if you really want to know the molecular mechanism, how ANP works, okay, now listen with all your attention. If you really want to know the molecular mechanism, how these things work or how ANP work, you must understand this very basic thing. What do you mean by hypovolemia and hypervolemia? Hypervolemia means you have taken large quantity of liquids, suppose water. That means your blood is now thin, okay, your blood has more concentration of water right now, okay. That means then and there ANP will be released, okay, so that sodium may get out of your body, okay, because sodium helps in the retention of water and that is dangerous for your body because it will increase your blood pressure. But if you take a very low concentration of water, if you take low amount of water in your body, then you will produce hypovolemia, then angiotensin is released. Clear? Okay. Now, let me draw a diagram to make you understand how these two factors, hypovolemia and hypervolemia, works, okay, and how ANP works. Now listen, suppose this is a atrial cell, suppose this is an atrial cell, okay, suppose this is an atrial cell. Clear? Suppose this is an atrial cell, and the first point you need to understand here is this, that suppose there is a receptor, there is a receptor for ANP, okay, there is a receptor for ANP. Suppose you have taken more amount of water, that is you are having hypervolemia. Clear? Now what will happen is this whole thing will activate guanylyl cyclase, okay, it is one type of guanylyl cyclase is one type of enzyme which is also associated with many things, but it will activate guanylyl cyclase. When ANP binds with its receptor, guanylyl cyclase is activated, okay. This is not G protein coupled receptor, sorry, so I should not draw like this. So suppose this is your receptor, and when when ANP binds with guanylyl cyclase, then what will happen is this guanylyl cyclase will actually convert GTP into cyclic GMP. Now important point here we need to understand is this cyclic GMP will now activate protein kinase G, okay, and this protein kinase G will help in phosphorylation of protein. Now one of the protein it will phosphorylate, okay, one of the protein it will phosphorylate, is one of the protein it will phosphorylate is calcium channel. One of the protein it will phosphorylate is calcium channel. Clear? So one of the protein it has phosphorylated is your calcium channel. Now a very important point here we need to understand is this: when calcium channels are phosphorylated, then they will turn off. That means no calcium will enter. And whenever calcium does not enter any atrial cell or any cardiomyocyte, then contraction or contractility of heart muscle decreases. Therefore this is how it decreases actually the contractility of heart and thereby blood pressure. Clear? Okay. Okay. Now suppose there is another thing, that means suppose there is another receptor for angiotensin. Now what will happen? Sorry. Now what will happen? Suppose there is angiotensin. Now whenever angiotensin is there in the scenario, whenever the angiotensin is there in this movie, then you must understand this very basic thing, that you are suffering from hypovolemia, right? You are suffering from hypovolemia. That means you have not taken your adequate amount of fluid, okay. Now when angiotensin binds with its receptor angiotensin 2, to be very precise. You will learn this thing, that's why I am not telling in details. When angiotensin 2 actually binds with its receptor, then what will happen is this, it will actually through multiple pathway activate this channel and release these phosphates, and thereby calcium will now enter and helps in, you know, calmodulin kinase formation and all this, calcium calmodulin complex, and thereby increasing the contractility of this atrial cell or heart cells, thereby increasing the blood pressure. That's it. Clear? Therefore, whenever we have high blood pressure, then we take, you know, angiotensin converting enzyme blocker, because this is the enzyme which converts angiotensin to angiotensin 1 and all these things in the lungs, and this hormone, this enzyme, angiotensin converting enzyme ACE, is present in our heart, and the blockers are known by the name of telmisartan or losartan or something like that. Okay, clear? If there is any question, write down in the comment box, and there will be live chat obviously, so you may ask then. Okay, thank you.